Welcome back to the Deep Dives, where we take your complex source material, stack it up, and find the structural shortcuts so you can become immediately well-informed. You asked for a deep dive, and today we are going deep. I mean, really deep into what is, well, it's arguably the most overwhelming topic in English. The infamous 12 tenses.
It really is a source of anxiety for learners and, even for native speakers when they try to explain it. Our listener, who we're calling the learner, they recognize that just a simple list of 12 rules, it doesn't work. It just doesn't lead to fluency.
Right. They wanted the architectural plans, the why behind it all.
Exactly.
And that's our mission today. The pain point is that English grammar often presents this as 12 separate things to memorize. We're here to prove that's just a distraction. We're going to show you that the 12 tenses are not 12 rules, but actually 12 logical combinations of what? Only 7 core components? We're going right for the framework.
Yes. The shortcut here isn't memorization, it's classification. True proficiency, it really starts when you stop thinking of them as 12 different things and start seeing the system. It's all built on 2 simple axes. Tense, which is just the when, past, present, future.
Simple enough.
And aspect, which defines the speaker's viewpoint, how the action unfolds from their perspective.
So we're basically collapsing this 12-headed monster into a clean, simple 3x4 system.
Once you see that matrix, the whole thing just locks into place.
Okay, let's do it. Let's unpack that system, starting with those 4 viewpoints. The aspects.
Well, the 3 time periods are pretty intuitive, right? Past, present, future. But aspect, that's the tool that adds all the nuance.
Okay, so first up is the simple aspect. I kind of think of this as the default setting.
The plain fact.
Yeah, the plain fact. It just expresses the action in its basic form. A habit, a fact, a finished event. It's unadorned time.
Then you have the continuous, which some people call progressive. This one is all about activity, about being in the middle of something.
Mid-process.
Right. It always implies an action that is incomplete or ongoing. If simple is a snapshot, continuous is like a video recording of the action.
And here's where it gets tricky for a lot of people.
Yeah.
The perfect aspect, the word perfect, is misleading. It doesn't mean flawless.
Not at all. It means the action was completed before another point in time. The focus is always on the result, or its connection to that reference point.
It's like a required flashback in a movie.
It is. It always connects 2 points in time. And if you combine that connection of the perfect with the activity of the continuous, you get the perfect continuous.
Okay, so this one's super specific.
Very. It emphasizes the duration of an activity leading right up to another point in time. It's all about how long you were doing something before the next thing happened.
The source material had a great example for this, just comparing he will arrive versus he will be arriving.
If you say he will arrive, you're using the simple aspect. You're just emphasizing the event itself. It sounds definite, scheduled.
But if you shift it to he will be arriving.
Now you're viewing it as a less definite process, an activity. Maybe he's on the train, he's in the process of getting here. The focus shifts from the single moment to the activity around that time.
And that tiny difference is purely a function of aspect.
It is. But, that 3x4 matrix is powerful, but every single one of those 12 boxes is a construction project, and you need the right materials.
Which brings us to what I think is a really underrated part of this, the grammar toolkit. You said a lot of tense errors are actually construction errors. What does that mean?
It means the learner understood the concept perfectly. They knew they needed, say, the present perfect tense.
Right.
But they failed to build the sentence. They didn't use the correct verb form. They knew they needed have, but they got the next part wrong.
So if I say, I had went to the store, my problem isn't that I chose the wrong tense. It's that I built it incorrectly.
Precisely. To avoid that, you absolutely have to master the 5 principal forms of any English verb. These are the mandatory ingredients.
Let's run through them. We start with V1, the base form. So sing, go, work.
The core of the verb, used for the simple present.
Then we have VS, the S form. This is a small one, just for the simple present, with a third-person singular subject. He goes, she works, it sings.
Then comes V2, the past simple form. And this one is so important because it has one job and only one job.
Which is?
It is exclusively for the simple past tense. So go becomes went, work becomes worked. That's it.
And here's the one that enables all those flashbacks we mentioned. V3, the past participle.
Yes. This is non-negotiable for all perfect tenses. Present, past, future, all of them. It always gets paired with an auxiliary verb like have, has, or had. For go, it's gone.
And if you get that wrong, the whole structure falls apart.
Your flashback button is broken.
Finally, the signal for activity, V, the present participle.
Essential for all continuous tenses. Always paired with the form of the verb be. Sing becomes singing.
So the real work for the learner is with the irregular verbs, right?
That's the cognitive load. For regular verbs, V2 and V3 are the same. Worked, worked. But for irregulars, you have to memorize a new set of shapes. See, saw, seen, or break, broke, broken.
So mastering those V2 and V3 forms is the absolute prerequisite.
You can't build the house without them.
Okay, so once we have the ingredients, we can start cooking. Let's tackle the first big point of confusion for everyone, the present tenses and that bridge between the past and the present.
Ah, yes. The simple past versus present perfect showdown. This is where your native language habits can really clash with English logic.
The simple past seems easy, but it has a hidden rule, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you use it, you're committing to two things, a finished action and a finished time.
Yes, the connection to now is completely severed.
Like, I lost my keys yesterday. The time yesterday's over. It's a closed box.
Exactly. I might have found them this morning. Who knows? The story of the loss is locked in the past.
But the present perfect, that's the bridge. The action is in the past, but the focus is all on the present result.
The classic example. I have lost my keys. The action of losing them is over, but the consequence, the result, is happening now. I can't get in my house.
So with simple past, I need to know when. With present perfect, I just need to convey the current problem.
That distinction, finished time versus present result, is everything. And it's also why we use present perfect for life experiences.
Ah, right, like he has won an Oscar.
It's an experience that exists in his life's portfolio up to this exact moment.
And it's also for quantity, right? She's read 10 books this summer.
Exactly. This summer is an unfinished period of time. She could still read an 11th book. But if I said she read 10 books last summer...
That's a finished time.
Yeah.
The count is final. The case is closed.
Perfect.
Okay, moving to the more immediate now confusion. Simple present versus present continuous. I think a lot of learners overuse the continuous form.
It's a very common trap. The simple present has a really rigid job. Permanence, facts, and routines. I live in Japan. That signals that Japan is my established permanent home.
Whereas the present continuous signals the exact opposite. It's all about temporary situations.
Or actions happening right at this very moment. If I say I am living in Japan, that suggests it's short-term, maybe a 6-month project. The temporary nature is baked right into the grammar.
And we can apply this same idea, this focus principle, to the two present perfects.
Yes. The question you have to ask is, what do I care about more? The result or the activity?
So perfect simple is for the result or the quantity. I've written you an email.
The action is finished. The email exists. That's the result that matters.
But the perfect continuous focuses on the activity or the duration. I've been writing emails.
Right. That emphasizes the process itself. Maybe I'm tired from it. Maybe I'm not even done yet. The activity explains my current state.
Like that great example we found. I've been running. I'm really red.
Yes. Being read is the present result, and the long activity of running is the explanation. The process is the point.
Okay. So if the present tenses are all about the connection to now, the past tenses are more like a toolkit for storytelling.
The ultimate toolkit for building a narrative. They let you sequence events with incredible precision.
The foundation of any story is, of course, the simple past. These are the main events, the timeline.
We arrived at the theater. The movie started. We bought popcorn. One thing after another.
Then the past continuous comes in to paint the background scenery. It describes what was happening around the main events.
Or it sets up an interruption. The kids were playing football when it started to rain. The playing was the longer background action that was interrupted.
And then we get to the powerhouse, the past perfect. You call this the past of the past.
It's your mandatory flashback button.
Yeah.
If you have two actions in the past, the one that happened first has to use the past perfect.
So how important is that, really? If I just say, the movie started when we arrived, is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but it means something different. It implies they happened at basically the same time. The arrival triggered the start.
Ah.
But if you want to be clear that you missed the beginning, you have to use the past perfect. The movie had already started when we arrived.
So that single verb change tells the whole story. Action 1, the movie starting, happened before Action 2, our arrival.
It completely changes the meaning. It's not just a flourish, it's an essential sequencing tool. It clarifies cause and effect.
And the last part of this toolkit is the past perfect continuous.
This one is for tracking the duration of that backstory. How long had the first action been going on before the second one happened?
For example, I had been working in the store for 2 years when it closed down.
Perfect. The 2-year duration is the critical backstory to the main event, which is the store closing. Without the continuous, you lose that emphasis on the length of time.
It's like having a little grammar GPS. You can just jump back and forth in time so easily.
Just like a novelist.
Okay, let's pivot to the future. This is another one where people, they just lean on will for everything. But it's really about the speaker's intent, isn't it?
It's all about the level of planning and certainty. And the simple future will signals the lowest level of prior planning.
So what are specific jobs?
There are 3 main ones. First, a spontaneous decision made right now. Someone says, the phone is ringing, and you say, I'll get it.
No prior thought.
None. Second is an opinion-based prediction. It's just a guess, often with, I think. Like, I think it will rain tomorrow.
And the third?
A simple future fact. The sun will rise tomorrow. It's just a statement about what's going to happen.
Okay, so contrast that with be going to.
Be going to implies a prior plan. You decide this before the moment of speaking. It signals intention. I know the phone's ringing. I'm going to let it go to voicemail.
So I already made that decision.
Exactly. It also signals an evidence-based prediction. You see something now that makes the future event feel certain.
Like looking at dark clouds and saying,
It's going to rain. You aren't just guessing. You're interpreting current data.
and then for the highest level of certainty, we actually use the present continuous, which feels strange.
It does, but it's used for a fixed arrangement. This means a time and place have been confirmed, usually with someone else. I'm meeting Jane at 8 o'clock on Saturday.
It's in the calendar, it's happening.
It's basically a done deal.
So the whole spectrum runs from spontaneous will to planned going to a confirmed and scheduled present continuous.
And we should just briefly mention the 2 specialized ones, the future perfect and future perfect continuous. Like their past cousins, they need a deadline.
A point in the future to look back from.
Yes, that phrase, by the time, is the big signal. By the time you get this email, I will have already left. The leaving is complete before the future deadline of you reading the email.
Or to focus on the duration leading up to that point.
By December, I will have been running this company for 20 years. The focus is the 20-year duration that finishes in December.
Wow. Okay, so we broke down all 12 into this 3x4 framework. But in a real conversation, how does a learner diagnose which one to use quickly?
This is the real key. The single most powerful tool you have is recognizing grammatical signals, time expressions.
They're like diagnostic tools.
They are. They point you directly to the right tense, so you don't have to cycle through all 12 options in your head.
So it's like a grammar radar. If you hear yesterday or last week, your brain should just immediately think.
Simple past, absolutely. If you hear since or for talking about something that's still true,
Present perfect.
that's the siren call of the present perfect. If you hear while, it almost always signals a continuous tense, 2 things happening at once.
And if you see by the time in the future,
You need one of the future perfect tenses to get the sequence right. Learning to spot those signals first makes the whole thing a contextual choice, not a memorization test.
and that control is really the final takeaway, isn't it? Using these tenses correctly gives you, it's not just accuracy, it's command over the story you're telling.
You can position actions and time with such depth and texture.
So what does this all mean for you? If the past perfect tells the backstory, and the simple past tells the main plot, how many crucial decisions in your own life history, the ones that defined your career or led you to where you are right now, would require the precision of the past perfect continuous to explain their full duration and their lasting impact on your present? That's something to mull over as you start writing your next story.